Hey beautiful people, welcome to Solely Purposeful Saturdays. Pick a crystal to select your card reading. Sit back, hang tight, and stay tuned. Hey beautiful people, it's your girl Shakima. I'm just stopping in for a quick reading for us today for Solely Purposeful Saturdays. Sorry for the delay, guys. I've literally just been non-stop today, so I'm just stopping into the space to give us a quick reading to sort of see what is actually taking place and transpiring for us today, because there is definitely a lot in the air, to sort of say the least. As far as the moon transit for us today, we've still got the moon in Cancer today, I believe. And the moon's really doing the most at the minute because we've just had the Gemini full moon, so we're getting a lot of our shadows are being illuminated to us. That way we can actually get the opportunity to clear out some of the baggage that may be perpetuated by the cycles of those shadows. But I can see that as of tomorrow morning, first thing in the morning at 3:56 a.m, the moon's going to go into Leo, so that should start to stabilize things a little bit better. It should start to give us an opportunity to, work our way through some of the baggage of the stuff that we've been going through. The stuff that we're carrying on our heart is going to really get the opportunity to be poured out. But it's really just down to us and the way that we're perceiving the situation as to how we're able to navigate our way through the circumstances. The moon in Cancer today, Cancer's a cardinal sign, as you guys know by now. It's a very action-oriented sign, and it's all about action within our foundations. It's about action within the home, action within our dynamics of our maternal relationships that may be impacting the way that we see and perceive home to be. So those are the things that we're going to be working on for today, and then closing out the weekend, we'll be able to put things into sort of a creative expression of how we've been able to perceive our healing process of that particular transit today. Okay, so going straight into it, guys, we've got the King of Wands at the bottom of the deck in reverse. So this is letting me know that we've had this before as well. I can't remember what Solely Purposeful Saturdays, where we had the King of Wands in reverse at the bottom of the deck. We're going through a transition of basically just letting a lot of our manipulative tendencies and ways go, because a lot of the manipulation was happening because we were being very ruthless and we were really just kind of overthinking situations, not really giving other people's right to be able to experience their human experience as well, and we were just being very impulsive and hasty in the way that we were making decisions as a result. So Spirit's giving us an opportunity to transition beyond that, because some of us that have been doing the work, we would have been illuminated and become a little bit more self-aware about what points of the situation was being created from a state of poverty consciousness, from our ego's lack of perspective to do with our natural power. So we would have gotten some mental clarity pretty much about some of the baggage that we were carrying, the stress that was causing us to make certain decisions, and we're just going through a process of forgiving ourselves as well as others in the process, as everything kind of unfolds for us, really. Spirit's saying that the situation will improve. There is something better than the current circumstances, but we have to be willing and prepared to meditate on the answers, because it's absolutely up to us to be able to navigate our way through into recovery. Now just really is not the time for a lot of the things that we are wanting to manifest. Like I said, we've been ruthless in the way that we've been navigating our way through the situation, because we haven't been taking into consideration other people's right to have their human experience, because we've been selfish about the way that we're doing things. And Spirit's saying now is not the time to continue to perpetuate that cycle. We have to choose a new direction so that we can really, set ourselves on a new course of action in terms of our romantic relationships and how our maternal relationships and the ideals of our maternal relationships have impacted our ability to do romantic relationships. So basically how we saw mom and dad do relationships. We may have been ruthless, impatient, impulsive, hasty, and pretty much just disregarding other people's feelings and their ability to be able to create the life that they intend to sire as well. So now we're learning the lesson of compromise, because with compromise, then we're able to tap into the abundance that's ever present for us, because we're not limiting it to just the one person's perspective, i.e. our own. Okay, beloved? So that being said, going straight into the reading for us, guys. For those of you guys who chose the amethyst crystal, you guys are going through a spiritual awakening for this particular transit, and it's going to be a pretty intense one, to say the least. You've got the Ace of Cups, okay, for your card. and that's saying that your spiritual awakening is happening at an emotional level. So there's going to be a lot of outpouring, there's going to be an overwhelming sense of emotions, but Spirit is gifting this to you. It's not something that's happening to you guys. Spirit is gifting this as an opportunity for you to be able to create new beginnings, and with these new beginnings you'll be able to get yourself into a position where you can gain victory over the circumstances. You can gain victory over your tendency to be emotionally unstable, but first you have to be poured into to the point where you're overflowing. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Psalm 23. Okay, your cup is about to overflow with emotions. Just trust the process and let God work through you, because this is divine intervention for you to be able to, I guess, pretty much just allow for a new beginning to come into being in terms of your emotions. The cycle that you are purging is an emotional cycle, guys, and through the process of this you are going to be able to come out at the other side spiritually recovered and rejuvenated. Okay, beloveds? So for those of you that chose the opalite crystal, you guys are going through a process of clarity. You guys are going through a process of a sense of knowing and enlightenment. And by the looks of the cards that you guys have, you've got the High Priestess and the Three of Pentacles in reverse. So this is basically saying that there's been a lack of teamwork, and that has happened due to higher powers. Spirit has been in the process of breaking apart, pulling apart whatever isn't serving you for where you are at the minute, and you just need to honor that. As you navigate your way throughout the process of that, the advice for you guys is to listen to your intuition. Listen to your inner calling, listen to your guides, listen to your inner schooling of self, because that's where you're going to be able to identify why the lack of teamwork was necessary, why it was absolutely imperative for the next phase that you're going to be moving into. Reason being as well, from what I can see, there were a lot of hidden agendas, there were a lot of hidden motives with certain situations, certain people, and they weren't necessarily being entirely transparent and clear about what their true intentions were. So just listen to your intuition as you navigate through the process, because chances are your intuition was what kind of, drew you and took you away from that environment in the first place, and there's a reason for that, beloveds. Don't overthink it, feel it. It's a natural evolution that you're going through. The enlightening and the awakening that's happening for you guys is a mental clarity that you guys are receiving. So let it flow through you guys, is my personal advice to you. Okay, for those of you guys that chose the Himalayan salt crystal, you guys are going through a cleanse overall over the course of this weekend, and by the looks of it, it is very important, this cleanse that you're having, because we've got the Seven of Swords in reverse, Page of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. So you are going through a process of letting go of your past ways of looking at things, the way that you were believing things to be, and you're letting go of a lot of deception, a lot of betrayal that may have impacted your ability to kind of look at things and the way that you're able to create as a result. You're starting anew, you're starting afresh with the Page of Pentacles in terms of the way that you're manifesting things, and moving forward with the Ace of Wands, it's going to be an absolute new beginning for you in terms of the way that you do things, in terms of the way that you are able to, how can I put it? Be motivated. The way that you're motivated is going to come from an inner sense of knowing, an inner sense of being, and that is simply because you're letting go of a lot of the betrayals that you were holding on to, a lot of the deceptions, the lies that you were carrying, the illusions that you were sort of, kind of creating your reality from. You're letting a lot of that go, and from what I can see with your angelic guidance, the advice to you guys is to reconsider. Okay, so that means you may need to re-look at certain ways that you were doing things before as you navigate your way through the process moving forward, and some of the decisions that you thought were already made may need to be tweaked a little bit, so that you can give yourself an opportunity to gain more from the experience, instead of just limiting yourself to old perspectives and old ways of thinking that you may have now subsequently outgrown. Okay, beloveds, I hope that was useful for you guys. As per usual, guys, I'm sending you guys nothing but love, light, and positive intentions for the journey ahead. If you guys haven't already done so, definitely be sure to check out the link in my bio. That way you guys can connect with me for personal reading, shadow work, mentorship sessions, energy healing, whatever. I'm actually absolutely here for the job, guys. So check out the link in my bio if you guys have been watching this via my IG TV. If you guys are watching this via my YouTube channel, then check out the link in the description box below, and that way you guys can connect with me for all of the above, as well as connecting with me via my other social media channels as well. Okay, we could just chop it up, guys. Okay, I'm gonna love you guys and leave it there for you guys. If you guys are watching via my YouTube channel, then absolutely do be sure to comment, like, share, and subscribe if you like my vibe and you want to be a part of the tribe. Okay, beloveds, I'm gonna love you guys and leave it all there for you, condensed. I will see you guys in the next video as per usual. God bless and Ashe. Take care, guys. Mwah. That's all folks, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell for more.